everyone, Becca here with Vitality Health and Wellness. I love meal prepping because it simplifies. I can make all of my lunches for the week. So today, since I was meal prepping anyways, I wanted to bring you my easiest ways to chop up onion and bell pepper, which I use a lot in any of my recipes that I use for meal prep. So let's get started. Alright, so I've pre-washed this bell pepper. It's ready to go. I love using bell pepper in my meal prep, whether it's fresh, sauteed, or roasted. So I'll use my Cutco Petite Chef knife, which is my favorite. I'm going to flip it to the side and I'm going to cut off the stem side. Again, I'm going to be doing this a little bit in slow motion so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Then I'm going to spin it around, cut off the end, same thing. And now you're going to be able to see, through the pepper, you can see all the fleshy and the seed stuff that we're going to be cutting out. So slice from the top down. This will give you a little access to roll to the side. And you're going to start cutting just that white, fleshier stuff with the whole seed pocket inside. You're going to roll that around and go ahead and chop all of that piece out. And again, you'll see there is all that fleshy stuff with the seed pockets. You're still going to get a few that are going to pop out of there, but still way less messy, a lot easier to do. So now you get this long, almost like a tube piece of that bell pepper, so much easier to chop rather than having those little curly cues from the top and bottom. So I'm doing a rougher chop. I'm going to be roasting these today. You could chop this finer if you like. It works just as easy. Again, I'm just roasting these today, so I'll use a little bit larger chop. And so now when you get all of these pieces done, try to keep them in somewhat of an organized fashion. Spin them around, and then you're going to hold with one hand and go ahead and start chopping the opposite direction. Again, I'm doing a bigger chop. You could do this finer. I've used this finer technique in some salads and it works amazing. And so now you've got all your nice pieces ready to go. And obviously we don't want to waste anything, so we want to use all this yummy bell pepper. Go ahead and just chop the rest of the very end. Again, same kind of concept, spinning it around and chopping. And same thing, we don't want to leave any of that bell pepper, so I cut around the top stem as well. And just do a little bit more of a rougher chop. And to finish that up, now you're ready to go. But you can imagine how fast this goes. Saves you a lot of time when you're doing big meal preps. Same thing with onions. So here's my little hack that I use for onions. It works for me. I cut off the end where you've got that root piece. Same thing, spin it around, cut the end off there. Now, I typically will do about a couple millimeters is what you're going to do for that first little slice in. So that's going to give you about one of the peels. And you can see how easy it comes off, a little less messy, a couple pieces will pop off, but it's the easiest, cleanest thing, especially if you're doing multiple onions and you don't want to be crying the whole time. So I'll top down, so the rings are to the top, chop that down. Now the rings are going to be facing towards your body, and your hand, you're going to be holding it just like this, one end from the other, and this will hold it together as you're cutting down. Again, I'm doing a rougher chop. You could definitely do this finer, but as it chops down, you're still holding it together. Rotate it all the way around, and same thing, do that same thing across the other side, giving you those nice rougher chop pieces. Go ahead and break those apart, ready to saute or roast.